shit. Treat me like a girl, they call me king and shit. Drove it out the lot, they had to rent the shit. Now we seeing money like we print the shit. New money like we print the shit. Treat me like a girl, they call me king and shit. Drove it out the lot, they had to rent the shit. When it was just spinning, ain't had to rent it. Corners I've been on. That is expensive, stacking not stripping. God is my witness. Look out my window, I see the city, feel like a hero. Jump in my whip, then I start flying, right past you widows. Top of the world, man, with a feeling I'm smiling and chilling. Been making a killing, know that I'm sinning. She loving the car, legs to the ceiling. Bitch is a 10, my grind is a 10. Jordan 11, that match with the Fendi. Told her bring her cause her friend is so pretty. Back to back phones, we mouth through the city. Always on go, so it's hard to get with me. Answer my phone, I just gave her the tone. Bitch, I'm stacking, so just leave me alone. Hating on me, then I'm leaving you tight. I'm just out here trying to get right. I did it the money, I don't need no doc. Money mills really hitting the spot. Got my foot in the door, my hand in the pot. Cooking up, now we seeing money like we print the shit. New money like we print the shit. Treat me like a girl, they call me king and shit. Drove it out the lot, they had to rent the shit. Now we seeing money like we print the shit. New money like we print the shit. Treat me like a girl, they call me king and shit. Drove it out the lot, they had to rent the shit.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome and welcome back. If this isn't your first time here, to the King Status Podcast with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
the voluptuous.
Voluptuous. What? Run that shit back. Spin that shit back. This nigga said I'm thick. Started the pot with I'm thick.
That's how you feeling?
This nigga's horny. What the hell? He said, let me tell these bitches I'm thick real quick. But yeah.
But along with
EdBuck, aka Playboy, but you know what's going on.
Hey man, it's Jay the prolific potter, aka Jay Do Say.
if do say so.
Yeah, no, fuck you, Marcus. Fuck you, Marcus.
I'm still trying to figure out the order.
We say myself as a team. That's the one word we all
so
say.
I say if.
Do.
No, he says do say so, and then we all say
Okay.
ourselves.
All right.
Yes.
All right. That's what it is. So you supposed to say 3 words?
Yeah, I know, but y'all I'm trying to catch it to myself right, and you like, fuck it, nigga. Do whatever. I don't care. However we say the beginning part, because it may change depending on how we talk. But just we say myself together. You can't leave the last word. I'll be like, myself. What?
Get him out of here.
But we thank y'all for tuning in to the King Status Podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And shout out to DJ Magic on the 1s and 2s. Magic. How y'all fellas feeling today?
Man, I'm good, man. Chilling. Had a great pod this morning. Everybody was on time, which is early for us. So it's been a long day already, guys. How y'all feeling?
Neighbors was on time today. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the neighborhood, man. Can't wait to have you fellas on. First episode dropped November 1st. Yes, sir. We back.
We've been talking about this for a long time, man.
Hey, man.
Been going, so I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, thank God for the co-host that bring my vision to life, man. I appreciate it. We gonna ride this bitch out though.
Let's get it.
And let's get it lit now. I'm about to be on your ass, but it's cool. You about to find out, nigga, who hey, however Marcus is, I'm gonna be like, hey nigga, repost this way.
But feeling voluptuous still?
Only in certain areas.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry I asked.
You know what? You know what? I'm just going. Hey man, I ain't here for this section. Go ahead, tell him how thick you is, cuz. Go ahead, tell him.
Tell him how thick it. Oh,
That's what
man.
he just said.
Wait a minute.
That's he just go.
He
You
didn't
just
say
asked
that.
if he
You
was
said that.
presumptuous.
I'm saying
And
what
he
he
said I'm
said.
thick in certain
you said
places.
you said tell him how thick
I
you
said,
are.
go ahead. Yeah, I said, take me out of this and go ahead.
I didn't call him thick once.
You just asked him, was he voluptuous?
I said, is he still feeling voluptuous? Because that's what he said.
Nigga,
I
Yo.
didn't say.
this nigga hit me with semantics. You brought up voluptuous again.
No, you said thick. I didn't say.
That's voluptuous. It's a different word.
But you said tell him how you thick. I didn't say tell him how you thick. I said,
said-
are you still feeling for what
y'all
you
was
said?
still feeling it. And I said, I'll take myself out of it. Go ahead, cuz. Tell him how you think. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all get that shit off. Magic, camera on these two niggas.
Well, when the blood starts flowing.
Oh my! All right. We good. But I'm cool, fellas. I'm cool. Man, it's still been a productive week. Still promoting my book, A Crown Fit for You, children's book. If you haven't already, go to Barnes and Noble and get that. And eventually, I am gonna have just telling in the near future. When the Morehouse Media website is up, I'm going to have where you can have the option to pick up, bulk order, and international orders only. So if you still only just want one ship to you, if you need it delivered and you're only getting like one or two, then you're still going to have to go to the Barnes & Noble site. But pick up, bulk, and international will be on the website. You can come do that to the website because I definitely did get someone from Ireland wanting to send something out. So yeah, it's really been a still a journey, still learning and all that, and still trying to balance everything because one of the things they don't you may hear in some speeches or anything, it's like when it's hard to really balance things sometimes. So right now it's really been that still family, still doing what you got to do. But then now I have a syndicated podcast and a book release. So now it's like, oh, now I'm working. Like I'm really working. Like I'm never the only time I'm sitting still is really when I'm asleep.
Never, man. Yeah, it's never again, man. Like that shit is, for me, it's so crazy. Even right now in consulting for other people and their brands and their businesses, it's like for me, it's always. I could never get a chance to give up yet because there's always something coming around the corner for me so far. With this business venture, it's like, oh shit, as soon as I go to chill, like, no, I need you for this. Hey, say no more.
And the one thing I keep in mind is I never complain. You know why? Because the second I'd be like, well, man, just a couple years ago, you wanted to be making moves and doing things. So that's why I never complain about it, even when it's because it's nonstop. Even like we be saying, Sundays are my only days off as far as like what I do on a daily, the days off I take off, but it's still not a day off because we're here.
Oh yeah, no,
and I'm still giving the same effort, even though I know what you're probably about to say. It doesn't feel like work, but it's still me.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was about to say, hey, Magic, tell me this shit is there is no days off. Even
yeah.
Because my pod, we go twice a week, and that's on purpose and for a reason. But in doing that, I get 2 days off a weekend. Guess what days I pod? Both them days.
Yep.
So even if I work my system to where though I can have extra time, I'm still working on the pod. Even in a sense, I'm still 2 episodes behind editing my pod because it's so much content I got to work with and do and distribute and break down. It's just. Hey, if you choose to be an exceptional human being, it comes with exceptional responsibilities.
And I think the hardest part about it, excuse me, and I think the hardest part about it is trying to make everyone else understand, especially the ones closest to you, because it's really hard to explain that balance. And it's like, yo, when you're really giving that effort, and it's like, yo, it may not feel like the effort is there all the way you might think from the outside, but it's really yo, some of them times when I'm sitting and calling you or being in front of you coming to chill, it's really yo, I'm really taking this time to be a part. And that's with anybody. That's if we just all kicking it and we yo, let's kick it, watch the game or something, yo, I'm really making a conscious effort to I'm gonna kick it with y'all to create that balance, and also for me internally, where it's yo, don't get consumed in your work so much and forget that life is still going. Life may be passing you by, and there's some things you don't want to miss. So that's why definitely when I'm having real intimate conversations with any of y'all, it's really yo, I'm really putting what I'm feeling now. I feel like I'm better at that now, saying a lot of what I'm feeling, because it's yo, I'm consumed doing so many other things that it's yo, I can't keep that bottled in either. I gotta let everything out.
And being okay with a lot of things that come with sacrificing your some of that family time to do whatever it is that you're working on and going for your goals. I literally was just telling little cousin, it's like, yo, I know it's hard because you young, you got a family, and you still young enough to really chase your dreams at the maximum, like to where as though like you doing it like this, you doing this, you making these moves, you driving out to these places. Like, you know, for somebody like you that has a family, you might have to literally plan out how to do certain
that's true.
Not do certain moves, but make certain moves because you have a family. And I was telling little cuz like, yo, even I didn't say it to as far as like losing her specifically, but I was like, yo, you're gonna have to be okay with losing out on some of the people and some of the time that you might want to have because you chasing something so hard, and you have to be okay with them not understanding. To your point, as far as you saying
exactly
that people don't understand because it's not their dream, so they can't literally see the picture that you see that might be 1,000 miles away. They might just only see that little speck of, you feel me, the light, and it's like, that's not enough for me.
And then the disappointment that comes on you, knowing that you may be disappointing them. So on top of you doing that, you still have to deal with, because you do care, but you're like, man, but the more I procrastinate, the more I keep just giving into everything, the more it's like it's not going to happen, or it's just going to take longer. And y'all been hearing me since the show started. I've been saying, I'm like, yo, I'm sick of talking about this stuff. Can we just get there? Let us just get there. And that's like where my mentality has been. But like I said, yes, it feels guilty when sometimes, like when the guys want to kick it and I'm like, yo, like I'm staying in. It's not that I don't want to go out. It's just more like, yo, the way I have to do my time. It's like I gotta prioritize. That's why certain things, like when it's ahead of schedule, like when we got the fights and everything, like we know that ahead of time, like, yo, I'm getting the fight, so on this date, and most of the time we know like weeks in advance. Like, so
I mean, yeah, as soon as you start looking at yourself as a brand and a business, you got to start behaving like a brand and a business.
Exactly.
You can't go into a workplace and be like, hey, yo, I'm about to bounce in 2 weeks, and without giving that one, saying, without telling them about to bounce in 2 weeks, or without knowing it's a change. Once your schedule, like I got to run my life like a business schedule. If I'm not where I got to be at a certain time, that can throw my whole shit off.
Exactly.
So you really got to think of yourself as a brand in a business every day of your life. But when you do that, you can't afford to make time for certain things, because now your time is strictly kind of managed well. And that's one thing, like I feel like school kind of helps in. But I just don't like the thought about it being that way, because, yo, your day can start at 1 p.m. and you got it scheduled out until 6 a.m. However that is for you. I don't think it should be this start in the morning, afternoon. That whole business model is how America chose to keep their workforce the way it is. And it worked for a long time. But for me, it's a different work schedule. My work schedule really in my brain might be 3 to 4 days. And as long as I contract, I got to do those 3 to 4 days, those other 3 for me are whatever I choose.
And I think the only reason why I feel like I have to manage that part better, but I feel like the only reason why is because then it's like, okay, if we all watching a movie and everybody fall asleep but me, then I'm like, okay, well, everybody sleeps, so I'm going to go do this, because now it's still what I'm thinking about. So I'm like, oh, now I could get this done in this time, so I can be ahead in a lot of ways. But then at the same time, too, it's also the unknowing that can mess you up, too, because there's so many things, including with the book. I was like, man, if I would have known what I knew now, I'd have fixed a lot of this stuff way sooner. So that way I could have had things going a lot smoother that people don't know about, that if I can only tell you behind the scenes, that like, because you wouldn't be able to tell that something like didn't go the way I needed it to. But it's like, But I think that is the better part of being in control of your brand and knowing like how to maneuver and not letting it destroy you either. Like in the same way, that's why I say no matter what, no matter how hard it gets or how it feels, I don't complain about it, because it's like, yo, you remember when you wanted this type of movement.
So, I mean, have you experienced, because for me, I just came to like a realization the other day when I was just outside and I sat and looked like, damn, when's the last time you've been stressed? And I'm like, damn, I can't remember. Because once I finally aligned on what I'm doing and what I feel like my purpose is, I don't stress about, like, there's nothing to stress about to me. I have had a zero stress. Even when things come arise, it's, I got to figure this out now. It's not, oh, how am I going to figure it out? What am I going to do? What it's more of, I got to get this done. Whatever it's going to be is going to be too. At the time of I got 2 wireless mics we've been trying to work into because I got 5 co-hosts on my pod, and getting this figured out has been a hassle because I'm a YouTuber, but sometimes YouTube ain't got everything. And for me, if YouTube ain't got it, it ain't nowhere. You got to figure it out on your own. So in this process, it's been a lot of trial and error. But the old me might have canceled the show because of this. But me currently is all right. It's going to sound however it's going to sound. As long as I get something in, I got to try and fix it the best I can in post. But that got to go out. I can't slow up no process. None of this work until, because like if it for me when it hits how I want it to hit, it's for a point to have this much content now. So that way, how I'm expecting people, it's not always the demand is more of, you got to go consume what I already put out. And then it's also being able to gauge that part of the community that has watched all your content behind a paywall and then able to communicate with y'all based off that content. It's a lot to think about in the science and the analytics of this to how it's going to work. And to have that heart, that strength, that thought out of a process, I got to execute properly.
Yeah, I feel like it's just tough sometimes for us just as human beings to compartmentalize. Is that how you say it? Compartmentalize? Whereas like you still got to do your job, but it's so much stuff still going on. Like, your daughter might be sick. You feel me? Bree could be sick at the same time. You feel me? You get a flat tire and then but you still got to come and do the show with all of that type of stuff. Like that type of negativity. It's like, bruh, and I still got to come and put on a show and be upbeat for the people and be upbeat for my fans and stuff like that. So any juncture in life is just like, you really have to learn how to even do stuff like that because it's not easy. And even speaking for myself, like years when I was playing, just hooping, and it's like, certain stuff is happening behind the scenes and I still owe people 20, 25 points so we can win the game. It's like, bro, I'm not really trying to think about this game when Granny's sick with cancer. Like, you feel me? I'm not trying to think about shooting a basketball. Like, you feel me? So
yeah,
that's on a higher level. But just not to say it's levels to everything, but just in the same breath, like it's like, you gotta come be you feel me? Come be the main focal point of a show. Be an author. You feel me? Be an inspirational speaker to whoever you feel me. Look at you in that light. Be an uncle. Be in a lot of aspects, you are an icon to people, like for real. And maybe it's far-fetched to say because of star and fame, but it's like, people see you on YouTube. Uncle's on YouTube. Don't do this. Or like you still have people literally watching you. So I can definitely understand like trying to be on 100 with a dream and having to live every day on 100 in regular life, like it's not easy. And
to that point, real quick, that's one of the reasons why when I say I don't want to look like the holier than thou person, because then the first mistake I make, the first natural reaction somebody might see out of me, and it's like, wait, he's supposed to be like this. And I always try to tell people, like, no, I am a father, and I do try to help other people, but I am still human. Like, so that's why I'm like, no, I feel more comfortable wearing hoodies than suits. Like, and that's just me. I don't want that, because the second you portray that holier than thou thing, as soon as they hear me cuss or slip up, it's like, wait, you supposed to be like this and all that. That's why I'm like.
And again, but that's on you thinking about not doing that. Like, for the people who get that kind of backlash, they consciously decide to be that way because it gains you a certain fanship. Like the holier than thou community online is very strong. They can turn content up.
Yes,
so like
absolutely.
People who want to portray that and be that person to the public and not go through the grit and grind of really being yourself. Yeah. Like for me, it's the grind. I want to be able to be me on everything I'm on.
Exactly.
Or an extension of me. If I can't be fully me, because it's hard to be fully yourself with a camera in front of you and you're trying to have conversations in a certain wavelength of where I'm not going too high, I'm not going too low. So that being aside, though, you still gotta be. For me, it's being me and able to be this what people buy into. Because all my life, people have bought into this, and it sounds like you too. Where people have people who become something to me. It's always been there a little bit. Like the gravity, like the gravity I pull around me. Even like that used to be a fat joke. Like, yo, you got your own gravity. It's a real ass thing. Like, you really break
it down.
Like, people who be around me are kind of bought into my world and kind of and we be locked in. and it's usually up to me to choose who can get in and who can't. So that even being alone, as when you open it up to a large audience, as far as like a YouTube, Patreon, and these different sources, my goal is to be more open and welcome in this way of life.
Absolutely.
But I've been that way, and people have been coming into my orbit all the time and staying and being relevant. To me, I had to stop looking at it as like, oh, just a thing, and really realize the weight you hold when you kind of speak.
Yeah, I super agree with you, and I like the analogy, like how you just turned that. That's why I was like, break that down, because I love that, like you said, like just having your own gravity around you, because I never heard it in a term like that, like except like the fat joke or something, like, so it's like, yo, like I think we all carry a certain type of gravity to us. It's just who has the stronger gravity, like who.
Hey, some pull, some push.
Yep, exactly.
I definitely feel like that's something that you gotta really learn about yourself for sure. Because, like, for me personally, I have a lot of people say like, "Yo, you such like this, or you so like this," and I just look at it like, bro, I'm just me, not understanding that I could be how you say the word, charismatic. I can be really charming. I know how to hold a conversation. The littlest things that I look over, it's like, bro, this is regular stuff to me. However, to somebody else, they could never have something like that ever in their life. So it's like they get to you, and it's like you could be everything to something that they've been trying to unlock. So it's like, yo, you really don't know until you really become conscious of stuff like that. And that's like one thing I used to say to you, like, yo, sometimes you got to be conscious of who you are to people, because you got a real big aura for somebody that's like, you know, like
so
kinda,
modest.
Yeah, like, you feel me? You got a big aura because it's like, yo, he's a genuine dude. He's good. He's like this. He's like that. So on top of what everybody get to see from the outside looking in, when they finally do get to your orbit, it's like, oh, he wasn't lying, but he's actually way past what he's even showing. So it's like how we are when you, it's like, yo, bruh, open up, because it's like they don't know that guy, and that's who you want them to see. However, it's like, yo, we so like this. So
yeah, because well, y'all would definitely understand why.
Yeah, for
like,
sure. For
why
sure.
I'm not. But it was just like, even earlier, how Magic was like, yo, like you not a quiet person and all that. And we was just more like, it depends on who you talking to. Like, because Jay called on like quick, like, oh, he's only a certain way if he if he don't know you enough, he's not gonna. I'm a still. I gotta learn who I'm around. I gotta figure out who I'm around first before I know what to open up with, because I have to have some type of trust in you, because we're so used to having all these guys around. All these guys, I got part of my history that I can't stand, that they are part of my history, and that's just me being honest. I said I can't stand that our names will always be connected, but it's one of them things, like they super ruined it for everybody. Made it better for me in a way, but they ruined it for everyone else. I'm not gonna lie, because it became like, now I don't hold them the reasons why. So that's the reason why I can be here with people like you, or be in this whole different area, because I had to learn. I'm like, bro, I can't move to a whole different city and still be like that, because they did nothing. Nobody out here did nothing to me in that way. So it's like, so I have to give everybody else a chance. And I say that about anybody. I say I give everybody a chance until you show me otherwise. Like,
but again, for me, I'm from like what we built in college, and being a part of something like that, and realizing how we kind of played a part in it not continuing. So like for us, it was for us, yo.
what? I'm listening.
I know. I knew what you was doing. It was funny. But for us, it was kind of like, for me, it was once that switch turned on, it was like, yo, this closed off nature. Because again, for me, the people I be with, anybody tell you it's been no new friends. It's been us and just us for damn near 15 plus years. So like, it's that mentality, but then us growing up and realizing, damn, like, yo, no, people really sought out a connection with y'all. Y'all could have helped the next generation. Y'all could have, yo, that man right there was a good man. You just felt like, yo, this is just us. And opening
definitely.
that, but
we
also
definitely from that time.
But
for
but
sure.
in opening that up as now this person, but being able to have to set boundaries though, like, yo, I can't. I'm open, but I'm not open to allowing everybody into who I naturally am, as just me as a person who is talking to his girl at 2 a.m. about some random shit. I'm more of the person I'm on here all the time because that is the comfortable character I feel like portraying. Instead of it being like it's a conscious decision because I had to open up had to break down some of these barriers to allow people to kind of come in and understand you, consume you because you want.
Exactly.
Even a lot of people say they want fame in this kind of lifestyle we into. I don't want fame, but it's a part of this.
Exactly.
Like having people hang on your word, having you have to be an authority on something not because you elected to be, but because the people chose you to be, and have to be willing and open to that. So in that, you kind of got to change how you approach it. It's even like how we even go back to that meme mug episode. Go watch that previous episode. I think it's like one of the teens.
Yeah, early episode.
Like in that episode, it's that part of like me consciously not being that person because me naturally am that person. Even my response to anger and how different things upset me. We just talking about how someone's like, oh, you don't like that in a certain aspect. That's my natural, by nature response. But me being this person, I have to be like, oh no, that did dissect why I feel that way and get past it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I like to get past it. Get past it.
So let me ask you fellas this. How do y'all view yourselves? How do you view yourself? And what I mean is like, because I know Jay where you might go with it, which I respect, but it's just like I'm just asking it like this. Like when you look in the mirror today, who do you see? Not who you see you have the potential to be and who you're planning to be. Who do you see?
Sexiest motherfucker alive.
There you go. That's my. There you go. There you go.
Who do I mean, I see a brand. I see a business. I see the future, even in me, and every aspect. Whenever I speak to the moment you're talking about of where you done and reflecting on who you are, I see myself better in myself at each step of this. Like
no. But I'm saying like not in that aspect. Like. Cool, because I said no. I respect that answer. I'm just saying, like in this case, like when you look at minus who you're gonna be in the future, minus who you were in the past, who is Jay, who is Eddie, who is King, right now.
Well,
when you look at yourself, that's why I'm like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I see myself, I see the future, so I act accordingly to that. Like I see who I'm going to be, so I act in that manner. I proceed with a certain how I would do this if I was only meant doing this as a lifestyle. If I didn't work a regular job and do this, I run my day. Even at work, I'm playing for like I'm asking questions and I'm curious about the people's minds for content. Cause like I have people of all different ages, sexes, and sizes to kind of ask like why you feel that way? Damn. So like even my staff and people just naturally feel comfortable to share things with me. It'd be like they going through a breakup or going through a separation and how you felt through that. Okay. And me learning from that content and how I see myself as still the student I always was in a sense of that. Like, I'm still learning and upcoming and I'm getting better.
Okay.
That's what I see.
Okay. So the way you just said it, I'm and this is basically what I'm asking. This is probably like what your answer would be, right? Like off of just what you said. Like you said, you still see a student, but you also see a leader as well because of what you do. Even like your title at work, how you like handle your friends and
my title in life is still that of leadership, but I think that still starts with being a student.
Yeah, but that's fine. You can see yourself as a student and a leader at the same time. And that's basically what I'm asking. Like in the right now, like who do you see when you see yourself in the mirror and just not the future part? Like if we just like that's why I say like we count everything out.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm just saying that I act like the ends of that. So like I see myself as a father, a brand, a business, pretty much an individual who's able to do whatever I set my mind to is what I see. Like I don't see any of the past things that used to weigh down on me that prevented me from achieving all the things I was meant to achieve.
I feel you. That's a good one. I feel like personally, like to be transparent and like stuff like this, to be real with the people. For me, I just feel like I'll just look at untapped potential. Like I'm looking at untapped potential. Like I feel like I'm kind of in that gray area. Like when I look at myself, like like you got all the knowledge and the game and the wisdom to do everything, but I feel like I'm low key still like on the lowest of keys. In that, like I'm kind of scared, like to do, and I can't figure out why though. Like, but it's something traumatizing about it, and I can't figure out what it is. Like, and that's what bothers me about it. Like, I don't even want to get too deep in it.
Well, fuck it, we getting deep.
No,
Yeah,
no,
let's-
no,
no, let's
no,
get
no,
deep.
no, no.
Pause.
I'm only
'Cause
saying that
it-
because I'm literally only saying that because
Pause.
it's making me emotional. Because it's like, bro, I feel like we've been doing this shit for so long, bro, and it's like I be watching certain shit happen, and I be like, damn, bro, like I just want to like get over my own personal hump, like. So it just be like, I don't know. I feel like I can't get out my own way.
But this is the reason why I'm asking, so we can
Yeah.
put things like this on the table. Like I would definitely.
If I can get teary eyed on y'all.
I mean, no, get teary eyed.
No, and
like in a sense, but getting teary eyed is part of that process.
Exactly.
You feeling that feel for yourself and your own dreams and your own motivation. Like I got teary eyed multiple times in pursuing where it just was like, stop, no, not that, stop, where the fuck are we at here now? I've been in totally disarray, and in those moments, I get back to the part of like even what he went back to. For me, whatever it is your thing. Just put it out and let the world judge for you. You're so heavy on judging yourself that you are so scared of the judgment coming back to you. Of they might not like it, but what if they love it? Is my new thing now. Like, if they fucking love it, if they sit on this, how I may consume some content, if I can have people doing what they doing over here, like I'm in some groups where people are talking about people who are regular motherfuckers, but they talk about these people like they are God's gift to fucking podcasting. And in that mode, it's like, all right, well, damn, nigga, like even like this, like my pod isn't out yet, and that was a conscious decision, but in some of that, it is some fear. Because it's like, dog, what if this doesn't do what it's supposed to do? What if my message comes across wrong? What if I'm not able to get to the step I want to get to? But still, I'll get back to, well, you can't get the shit if you don't put it out. Right. And you can't get to the feelings, or you can't get the relief of people believing in you, even one person.
Right.
It take one person, like especially you with the music thing, like, dog, I know you heard people say it was good because I've heard them say, yo, this shit was good. Where is it at? And in that sense, the fear only comes from like, all right, what if the opposite happens when I put it to the world? But as long as you are confident in the product you put out and in yourself, like that a lot of it comes from this inner self of where you have to get over any slight hump you have in life that may have been put upon you. Like we spoke about last episode, we spoke about Marcus being shy at that age, and even me and being shy, but then being open and being closed off and dealing with all these spectrums as being a kid who kind of had sex at a really early age, and then that changing your course of life because you oversensitized now and having to come back around to certain things to realize what was going wrong with you. In that journey, I definitely had to just release and had to be like, yo, I'm gonna be me regardless. And once I realized that and I revel in that person, it makes it easier to kind of get over it what anybody else thinks. Right. And that's the main thing I would suggest. Like, yo, dog, you gotta wake up, and when you look in that mirror, you gotta know, yo, I'm the best ever to do whatever I'm doing because I did it already. Like, this ain't like I ain't speaking to somebody who ain't record a single song yet. You got the shit. You can play it back. I can play you 47 billion niggas who are on. Right. So the talent isn't the thing. It's all about the drive. It's all about the completion in it and making sure that you are consistent in your product. Like the only reason Walmart is fucking Walmart because they was consistent in making sure you gonna know the fuck Walmart is. So if you want to be fucking Walmart, you gotta make sure everybody know who you are. Because if you just sitting there and you the greatest thing in the world, but you hidden in a box, you don't matter. Right. You just the greatest in that box.
I love that answer because I feel like you hit it on the nose. Pause. Right. Like because that's really what it is. Like 98% of the time, that's really what it is. It's the self-sabotage and how we feel about how we feel about ourselves. And like I said, and like me being transparent when I was like, yo, I just said a few episodes ago where I'm like, yo, I was told other people see you like this. Why can't you see yourself like that? Like, and they really said like, yo, it's never going to work for you until you start viewing yourself like this. So I would probably like, so to answer my own question, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think about this hard enough. Like, cause you like I was listening so hard to y'all and like what y'all pointing out because it was so much game in this situation that that I have to I would definitely say I would say I still see a student. I see a student of the game. I still see a leader. I see a creator. I still see a dreaming little boy. I still see that. Like, I am a father and all. Like, I may be everything. I may be a big brother, everything like that to other people, uncle. But it's like I still see the little boy that's like, yo, you are still doing things you only thought of and dreamed of. And you always felt like you could do this. But it was the self-sabotaging thing that always held me back. So going back to what you said earlier about not stressing, I'm not going to say the stress isn't there, but it's like I'm telling myself, but what is stress? Just sitting around stressing, worrying ever got you? It made you give up and everything like that. So what is sitting around moping around about it going to fix? It ain't going to fix nothing, but it's just going to make you give up again. So a lot of the times it's like I'm just more like I tell myself, like it came to me just in the simple words, like it's going to be worth it in the end. Everything you getting disappointed with, all the stress that's like behind the scenes and everything, it's gonna be worth it in the end. You're gonna get through this. It's hard. Some of the stuff is hard right now, trying to be 100 with everything, which is almost, I'm not saying impossible, but it's hard to do at the same exact time. That's why I say like my time literally has to be whatever I'm doing. I have to focus on that. Like, that's where my focus has to be. So, like, right now, I'm not thinking about too much other things because I'm focused on making sure I'm giving 100 right now. But it's, and I can say I probably still, like, I still suffer with imposter syndrome because of things that just were in my past that it's hard to just get, like, you can't just turn all those years. You can't just turn it around. Like,
well, I mean, in a sense, it's not fully turning around, but give it a point and a reason. The reason I come here and I speak about the time I was depressed, to remember that I was depressed.
Yeah.
So even in my current, even when I've been sad, like this has been a long fucking year. Like a lot of shit I don't discuss, don't talk about, but it's been a long year for me and my girl. So like in that sense, I still have to realize that in that, but you've been here. So
Right.
whenever I speak on that, it's always a slight reminder to myself that, you've been at your lowest. And I'm pretty sure we spoke about times where I felt like you might have been at your lowest. And in realizing that was the lowest, then everything above it is amazing. Like, you got to appreciate that you wake up where you wake up. Right. Like in a real shit. Like, I really, dog, if you woken up in places where you do not want to ever fucking wake up, waking up and just like, seeing what you see, it's a blessing in a sense. Because I woke up and seen some shit that I never want to see. I never want to see that many niggas ever when I wake up. Like that shit is crazy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
So shit like that, right. Even for whatever your experience was, and certain things of your whatever your low is, to keep yourself above that high, and you currently are.
And exactly. And that's where like when I finally took a second to have gratitude, like, it may not be perfect, but remember just a few years ago when it was like this, it wasn't even, like you got out of that, you made it out of that, and at that point you really didn't know how you was making it out of that one. So some of this stuff right now was just more of the, okay, I've been through this before, but because I've been through it and I got out of it, now I know ways to just where it can never be that bad again unless I do just give up. My question to Ed real quick, because I know how I dealt with things, and like this thing you say you dealing with, like having a hard time getting out your own way. Paraphrasing. Do you think more reassurance through life would have helped?
Dang. Thinking about it, like it's probably really more so like a support thing, probably. Like what. And it's weird because it's like everybody that I was around family wise tell me like, cuz you got it. Don't, like when I was thinking like street stuff was, you feel me, 1-on-1 with, you feel me, basketball and stuff like that. I had cousins like, nah, cuz this is not it. Play hoops, whatever. So it's weird because I have the support of people saying, nah, cuz like this, that, but it's like, my mom worked, you feel me, two jobs sometimes or whatever, or she working, so she never really could catch the games, you feel me? So my dad, we got an strange relationship. So like at them times, it was more so like you only showing up because I'm hooping. Like, you feel me? Like at the times, man, like the relationship that we had was more so like was just more so like yo, I talk to you when I talk to you. But like every year that basketball season come around, this when you really my mans. And like I gravitated towards it off of the simple fact it's my dad. I want that relationship. However, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still behind closed doors. Like, he only here because I'm hooping.
So, question: you didn't see that maybe as, and later on in life, you didn't see that maybe that was the only way he felt y'all connected, and that's why he kind of poured in more there, instead of it being like a way where, oh, I'm not connected because I can't, but it maybe this is where we both connect, and maybe he felt like just because of the strange part of it that we didn't connect anywhere else.
50-50. Because I didn't, like, anybody that knew, like, if I ever talked about it,
Magic.
I never really held it on them, like, as far as, like held that against them, I mean. Like, I never really, like, as much as it bothered me, I never really held it against them because of the way that my mom portrayed it, like, for as long as I could remember until I got to really start seeing it for myself. She will always give him, like, yo, it could be because of this. She would, I don't want to say make excuses for him, but she would always give him the benefit of the doubt to me. Like, she will always make it, yo, give him the benefit of the doubt because you don't know what it was like for him coming up, period. So I always kept that in the back of my mind. Like, I don't know what it was like for my grandpa to raise my dad, or for him not to be there, what that did to him. And to be a 16, 17-year-old having another 16, 17-year-old pregnant. Like, you feel me? So
Yeah, that's
more,
crucial. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I feel like that can, because for me, I had people to tell me the story of how my dad came to be, the world he kind of grew up in, and why that caused him to be the man he used to be. He is today. So I understand him in that sense. Like, I forgive him for what he was to me as a dad. Now, do we have a connection? No, but I understand you, and I can see how in the environment you grew up in, why this whole thing has you jaded towards parenting. And I'm sorry that happened to me. I'm sorry for me. I didn't feel bad about even being my father's situation until I seen my little sister. Like, that's what hurt me when I got to deal with the next generation feeling the pain that I didn't even know I might have been feeling at the same time. Right. So that's when I had to sit and get some game, hear some information about, hear some, hey, your grandfather might be your hero, but you might have to hear some bad stories about your hero. Right. So and in those situations, you go, okay, I can see how, even having a dad in the house every day could be a different situation for every single person. So and you not having that, and I would probably ask you, while you still have family members around, seek out that knowledge just to understand more about the man before the man, so you can see who the man became to you, and even him, because he's here, and y'all have some type of relationship. You can ask him, like, yo, tell me about your upbringing.
So like with that specifically, it'd be more so on me, like, having to go talk to him and see if he gonna give me those answers, because my family, as a family, they like to do a lot of.
Oh, we all, I know, like, black people.
You feel me? Like, they like to do a lot of, like, it's a lot of they did the best that they could. They did the best that they could. It's more so like, yo, he did the best he could. Don't fault him. It's like, yo, I don't care about that. Like, I know, I'm sure he did the best he could for his situation, but he was still a shitty dad. Like, I'm not tripping off of anything else. I just wish that you was a better dad for certain things that I feel like I might have needed.
Right, yeah, because it doesn't change the reality of, like, his reality.
Right.
Like, yes, to everybody else, he may have seen his pops, like, that's his pops' reality. But his reality is, yeah, cool, you were there, but you still weren't there, and that's where I needed you. So, but I think, I'm
gonna say, in understanding how he became, understand what he views of fatherhood, especially if he had a dad in his life, that kind of like me not having a dad turned me into the dad I am today. Right. So I can understand having a dad and in different ways turn you into somebody. Because especially for us in that time period of you speaking right before us, which is your dad grew up in the 80s and 90s, really 70s, depending on his age. He grew up in that era. What happened during that era, and how the world and how our fathers viewed young black men and what they felt like they had to prepare us for. So that could, any small situation could jade them. I know parents who are like fraternity men who that jaded the kid. Because even in how you see, or army kids, like even in how you see the world is jaded based on the plight you have had. So that's all I'm saying. Like, not saying it's going to change the past, but you as an adult now can give somebody to that alleyway in that area forgiveness, that grace that they might not even be able to extend you. Like, I don't think my pop got no grace for me, but in his mind, that's however he see it. But for me, I got nothing. Hey,
of course, like we know, it's all about the lens. Like, you was looking at it from the lens of an adolescent, and now you're an adult, so you can understand. So that's one of the things. Like me and my pop, we had conversations about, because it was like, I understand more now being an adult, but it's still like, yes, it doesn't change what I felt as a child, because it's still like, that's still my reality,
right?
Like, so, and that's what I'm saying. So like, yes, his pop's reality may have been hard, but it's still his reality that still got tarnished too. So it's like, he wouldn't be lying. Like yes, you see a different way. We both look at this couch, but he sees a different angle. He can see the front of that bag. I see the side of it, but it doesn't make us wrong. Like, we just both see it from a different angle.
Yeah. And being
go ahead.
And I was about to say, being transparent to what you said, Jay, that was more so how I got to be as I got older, as far as after a while, like I think it was like 16 or 15, I think something like really happened to make me look at him like, oh, this is who you are. And I stopped being mad at it. Like, all right, this is really who you are. I'm gonna really try not to get too deep into that, because you've shown me this. Like, and now that I'm a little older, I can understand it. I respect it more because you ain't hiding it. Like, this is really who you are. However, to what you were saying, me and him really didn't start to really get into like the clashes of like what's actually going on until it started happening to my little sister. And we know, like, as messed up as it sounds and stuff, like my little sister, she's the favorite. And I don't hold that against her. Same. I don't, I love my sister to death. Like, we have our little, regular sibling stuff. But when he started to treat her like how I used to feel, that's when I started finding the issue. It's like, all right, bro, you can't do this to all of us, bro. Like, I'm the exception. I'll take that if it means they can have better forever. Like, I'm okay, because I'm going to grow up and I can find a way to mend that. Like, but when certain things started happening, and he even made a crucial mistake, like a real big crucial mistake. And I told him, like, I'm there and I'm like, yo, Dad, listen, I'm not even going to lie to you. You asked me something and I looked at you like, yo, this is huge. Like, and I didn't even feel we had that relationship. So when I felt as though the mistake that he made, when I told him, I said, yo, Dad, listen, that's your favorite. You could never treat her like that. So you got to understand, if she lashes out, that's because all she knows is having you around at all times, or you being there, you always coming to the rescue. So when you stop coming to the rescue and forget coming to the rescue, and you even stop flying to the scene of what's actually going on as the superhero, it's like, oh, nah, what's actually going on? Where's Superman at? Like, so...
No, that's facts, bro. And I went through that same situation in the exact same manner of just like, yo, you were this person to me, but to her, you're everything. And having to deal with having you crush her world, and I got to build it back up. Like, my little sister shared something to me, like, before, like, she wanted me to go to therapy with her as kind of that fathership role. And I was like, damn, I never even thought of you looking at me that way. Like, damn, I was the only man in your life that's consistent besides our grandfather, but he was older when you came around, and that was my connection. You didn't have that same one. So you having that with me.
Wake up, Magic.
We got like 15 more minutes, bro.
Nah, you
don't ever underestimate T-Pain. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm telling you, nigga. You had no T-Pain. That T-Pain is something different.
But
she done been here. Do say any T-Pain? She's moving like.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But not. Do you think the traumas of the way you view yourself and like that holds you back? Do you think it's the traumas in life that kept you there? Because it's like I was having this conversation, and we were talking about like the conscious and subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is the rational thinking. So what you're feeling like is, what if I put it out and it doesn't take off the way I'm thinking? But your conscious mind, you're like, yo, I'm ready to do this and I want to, but that subconscious, always that rational thinking is what keeps you from doing it because you feel like that. But would you say it stems from a place of trauma in a way?
How, like, for sure, because I won't personally look at it because you think trauma is, you feel me, so big and certain things or whatever. However, we really don't even understand how traumatizing anything could be for whatever reasons. So honestly, to give you insight, musically, I kind of got traumatized when you left, like, because I no longer had somebody to push me, like, bruh, put it out, like, you feel me? Or I didn't have you to measure myself up to no more, like, because you was the greatest to me. So it's like, bruh, I want to be like that, like, I want to be. So it gave me always something to, yo, I'm a show, bruh, this, you feel me? When this next joint come out, he gonna be, you feel me? So like, it kind of started there, but I didn't really let it go too far because I still would do songs, but it definitely is musically. Only speaking musically, it kind of started like when you left, like, damn, bro, like, because now for whatever reasons you could look at it on your end like that, but for me on my end it's like, bro, my scapegoat, I get to go over, bro, we got the same look on everything, like, you feel me? It's for the most part, bro, I want to do this, bro, I want to do that, we got this, you feel me? So I always had you to look up to. Damn, bro, got this will, damn, I'm slipping, we got, you feel me? We I'm gonna get this will. So I never wanted to feel like I was one step behind. So you was always my motivation to be like, yo, I'm here. Like, so musically definitely, as far as like trauma goes, because I always had you to, bruh, we can put that out. But even if you didn't feel like it, I could still do it. You feel me? Because I know if I put out something and it's fire to you, and then I get good reaction on top of that, it's like oh damn, I'm tripping, because I know we that fire. So it's like, now whatever that you had in the tuck, I can get you to put that out there, so I can give, bro. See, I told y'all he the best, bro. He because I'm not thinking about me, because in my head, as long as I'm helping him build up to what he was lacking musically. I could always bring myself to that. Like,
right.
So if you shy doing music, I didn't have to trip off being shy, because bro, shy, but he nice. I didn't feel like I was that nice. So putting out anything didn't matter to me, because he told me it was good. So I don't care about what y'all say, because y'all not as good as he is. Y'all wasn't there. So it was like
so
that
wait,
type
can
of
I ask
thing.
a question before you go? Can you speak on how you left music?
Just sick of the disappointment.
But like I'm saying,
like,
not why, how.
Oh, I just said, bro, I'm done with it. And that's the reason why I said why I got in a place where I'm happy helping other people, because when I closed that door, I closed it. I was like, yo, I'm cool. Like, I don't want to deal with this, because I'm human. So you don't want to start doing, like, when people doing bad business, sometimes you don't want to react in a business way. And it wasn't just going to keep being transparent. Gonna like just keep being like, yo, I gotta keep dealing with all this BS. Like this person got these awards for like doing this, but the work doesn't show. Like, so and I was like, yo, I was just sick of it. So, and one thing I say is, I came out here too late. I said, if I would have got out here, I'm telling you, literally, if I'd have got out here maybe like a year earlier, just a year earlier, if I'd have came out here, it'd have been different. Because the connections I already made well before I came out here. So, and that's why I was like, so that would have helped, but I was okay with leaving, because I still knew, hey, that wasn't my forever thing. But I knew I still wanted to do things like the way I'm doing it's just a different hustle, but the goal is still the same in a lot of ways. It's just like rap. I just wasn't feeling like being the rap artist isn't going to get me there, and I'm okay with that, because I have different endeavors. So, but But and the reason why, like I asked, like would a reinsurance been helpful? Because I don't know if y'all seen. I just put out a clip. I put out a clip this morning. I was watching a Kirk Franklin interview, and he literally said, he was like, because it broke, like it kind of broke me, because it's like he put words to what I felt like life was for me, like to where I can show everybody else, especially you, with someone who didn't understand why every time when you saying it's good and I'm still double checking. And he said, he said, let me just play it real quick, just so, because I don't want to, so y'all can really just hear what.
When those beginning stages of life, when you don't have people to inform you of who you are, it sets the trajectory of how you process everything in life. Everything in life is through that same filter. I want to be liked. I want to be accepted. Am I okay? Am I good enough? And you can be 53 years old still asking, how'd I do? How'd I do? How'd I do?
And like when he said that, even when him saying like he's 53 with all this success, but he said like with his upbringing and not having that, or not having anyone, it was always people just walking out his life. He says that's why he'll still be like that, even with his producers. Like, how that sound? Like, is that good and all that? Even though everybody in there jumping, it's like, yo, like, you sure it's good? And but it like puts so much words to it, like the best way, where it's like, yo, like when you used to always wonder that, yo, I said it was good. Why are you still questioning? Like, because it's still that I'm not used to that reassurance. And like, again, like how you said, like when I get on here and I definitely say like, yo, no, my mother believed in me. She invested in me, but it was still like she was on the grind so much. So it wasn't always a constant thing to say. But it's like, but I knew, but it still was just like, okay, but who, like the people I'm around daily weren't giving me that, is what I'm saying. So it's like, so when my mom believing in me, it still helped. It kept me enough to keep going, but it just wasn't enough to stop me from what I was feeling, which is still the gift out of it. Of it didn't stop me. Right. That's why I'm still here.
And I definitely agree with that, as far as like, yo, my mom support anything I ever did. Like when I first ever was hooping, she bought me Iversons, like, cause she knew that was my favorite player. She built me like, oh, you like this, you like that, cool, I'm gonna get it for you so you can feel that too. But at the same time, like how you said, my mom's working 3 jobs, so I'm going to the game, even if I play bad, just to see you there. It's like, yep. So for me personally, it was always my grandmom. You know, she loved us, like when it came to music. Like, but me specifically, because I was the first boy, it was just something about me and her. Like, she just loved everything that I did. Anything I could ride a bike, grandson. Nobody ride a bike like you. Run up the street. Like I used to, we used to have a street where the buses always came every once so often. I used to like try to fake race the bus. You feel me? Grandson, you so fast. You gonna be dead. So it's like, that's all you hear. Like how for Kanye, like how as crazy as he might seem to everybody, when your mom is drilling that you're the best in the world, at a circle, that's the best circle I ever saw. You put a dot on the paper, that's the most symmetrical dot I ever, you feel me?
At a young age.
Believe, exactly. You'll believe that every day, you feel me? But if you, oh son, you can be the best at whatever you want to go do, and then your mom leave for the next 12 hours, it's like, all right, mom giving me that she building me up, I can go do that. But when I walk out the door, somebody punch me in the face, I got to deal with that. Like, oh damn, like I got to deal with, you feel me, fighting back to life. Like, you feel me? So,
and it's like, and that's the reason why I said that was enough, like that we were able to get those pieces to keep going, to like never give up. But it was just still not like it couldn't save us from the other things we had to deal with most of the other hours. Like, cause like how he said, she working 3 jobs. My mom was the same way. Like she's doing that. So it's like when she's home, it was like she's getting her rest, but her days off, that's when but it still doesn't add up to like the few hours, doesn't add up to the other 24 of the 5 days, 24 hours in the other 5 days of the week. And then like, you know, sometimes life start going by faster and quicker in that type of way. So and that's one of the reasons why I felt like that was important to talk about and really see, because now I know how more to help him in a way, because now he put that in front, because he never said that. And like that was my first time here, but at the same time, it took me years to tell him that's always what I was feeling. Even and he was around, but he didn't know some of the behind the scenes things, and that's the same reason why I said even some of the moments that he saw that affected me, like when I really like formally met my biological father, and he was right there, and it was like, and he saw how that affected the rest of my day, because it was like I'm thinking it was gonna be like this, it's gonna be like that, and reality said, nah. Reality was like, that's not how this worked. And I would probably say one of the biggest lessons in that moment was, yo, everybody's not going to love you. They don't have to. Everybody's not going to care about you. Everybody's not, no matter what you are to them, you can still be a stranger, which is why I'm not going to lie, still also makes it when other people that weren't born with me, but they came in later, like saying just friends and all that. That's why it's like once they do that, like this lawyer stuff, it's like, no, it's like, because I already saw what family was showing me. The guy that I look like, the guy I came from, and he didn't have nothing like for me. So it's like, why would I think anybody else in the world would? And realistically,
that's definitely like kind of what I picked up on too. Like, yo, like, people be like, oh, you know your dad. And it's like, yo, it's so weird to express something like that. Like, yo, I know who my dad is. I can go see him if I want to, but he's not a father. Like, he's not present. Like, yeah, I can go to his crib, knock on his door, but maybe after a couple hours or something, or I can, this is my dad. I can spend a night, but it ain't like, you feel me? Yo, son, let's go have this, you feel me? Whatever, like, oh, let's talk about this, or yo,
it's
son,
about interest. Yeah, ain't no interest in
exactly.
And the only blessing about certain things, I know nothing can ever change that. In like when we going through life, even like I said, it's still your reality. So even being good, which is a great thing. Like, y'all good and y'all in a much better place. And I see y'all be on the phone, FaceTime and laughing, and also it's great. But it's still like, we wish we would have had that then, so that way we wouldn't have to be feeling like that now, like what we were talking about, even though we're getting out of it. But yes, it's part of our testimony at the same time. But the blessing about this, and Jake can definitely, I know he can agree, fatherhood heals a lot of that. Like, when you get to finally be that for someone else, it's like you start accepting, hey, I may never have it, but I'm gonna make sure you don't, like, you never have to feel that. Then that's why I say, like, even when I put that clip up with Kirk Franklin talking, the first thing I said, this is why I write children's books. I said, so nobody around me has to deal, or the children I know or that come from my loins, my lineage, they never have to feel that way and be in their big age asking and always questioning and second guessing themselves. And it's like, no, if I say it's good and I tell you it's good, believe it's good. Or if you believe it's good then. Right. So like Jay said, sometimes it's just a matter of, yo, just put it out, because you'll never know if you don't. And you're always going to hold yourself back if you don't do it. So now I always think I adopted that the Dame Dash ideology. Like, yo, think of the best case scenario first. Do that first. Like, think of the best case scenario. If I drop a book, the best case scenario, oh, I'm big New York Times bestseller. Like, a series can come out of it. Oh, a movie can come out of things. Like, so, and that's what I try to think. Even so, sometimes, like, I know people will say, like, the rationalization, like, where people are thinking, like, oh, I'm thinking reality. But it's like, yes, but sometimes my reality doesn't have to be bad. So it's like, things can be good in your reality. So sometimes you got to look at the best case scenario. You put it out. Hey, it may not get 1,000 likes, but it may get 50 likes. And the difference is, what I want people to really know too, which is really what we all have to adopt too, as far as social media with, we'll get upset because we only get like 50 likes on something. But if 50 people were in a room complimenting you, you will feel like 1 million people like that. So sometimes, we just got to sometimes we got to just get out our own way. And that's really what it is. And this is, to me included. This is definitely for me included.
That was a great analogy. Because 50 people in one room seems like a whole lot versus being on a platform, a media platform, where there's millions of people, and 50 likes is like, like, you feel me? So that was a great analogy.
But if you walk in a room full of 50 people and everybody's telling you how fire your kicks are and how you look, then you're gonna feel on
like
top of
the
the
one.
world.
Yeah,
like you're gonna feel like the whole world feel like that. Like but yeah, great episode, fellas. Great, another great one. Like I think everybody touched on some points. I told y'all in the beginning, you might get some laughs, you might get some tears. But Ed dropped the first one. I thought I was gonna be the first one to drop one. But Ed dropped the first one. So we thank y'all for tuning in to the King Status Podcast once again.
Yes,
Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you have been here with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
EdBuck LC, aka Playboy Bucky, you know.
Mr. Prolific, aka J Duce.
Mr. If
Do say so.
myself.
Yeah, I forgot. Hey man, my mind.
He done created the plan and forgot it.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Totally forgot it.
Exactly. But we thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to just follow
Like, comment, share, and
us
subscribe.
on the description below. And remember to go pick up my book, A Crown Fit for You. And remember, no one can fit the crown that's meant for you.
Yes,
This is
sir.
King Status Podcast. We out.